Good evening, everybody, and Jimmy's back. Welcome to the live car reveal of my Btcc Season 4. You probably gathered by now over the past 3 seasons I can't do this on my own, can I? So, I've got my good friend and trusty companion, Mr. Adam Bath, with me to guide me along and pull up any errors as usual, and hopefully no Mickey taking tonight. Maybe you can wind it in a little bit. Adam, are you with us?
I'm here. You're a glutton for punishment asking me back for season 4, aren't you?
Well, do you remember last season, Adam? You were requested due to popular demand.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't vote, by the way.
No, I gathered that. You vetoed it, didn't you? And it just didn't get through.
Well, I tried to cancel it, but it didn't happen, and they stamped up and down and sort of, yeah, no, we need him back. No, joking aside, this has been a journey. This is now season 4. A lot of effort over every season, including liveries, which is mainly down to Adam, sort of which liveries we should have on the grid, just to give a bit of variety. And on my side, creating them from scratch, choosing the car. Both of us had input in that. We've had Group 4, we've had road cars with tuning parts. We've had all the variety. And to be fair, the drivers have adapted to it, haven't they, Adam?
Yeah, they've done really well, and I think what you've managed to do if you look at the development from season 1 up till season 3, how it's gone and improved season on season, the racing's been absolutely epic, and obviously the car is a big part of that. So I think everybody's going to be excited to see what car we've chosen for season 4, and I think it's going to go well. It's going to give some great racing, I think.
Hopefully. I mean, looking at the grid, this is probably one of the strongest grids we've had up to now. Danny C's won it twice. Clay Jacks has won it once. But this is not as the game's progressed, people's abilities have progressed, and they're playing it more, I've noticed, and people that are maybe weren't so quick before have now improved. So it's great to see the evolution, not just of the game itself, but of people's ability. So this is all about what I get out of this, and I think I can speak for Adam at the same time, is the enjoyment for us, even though it's a lot of work to put it together and create the season, not just the liveries, the track selection. Yes, Jimmy's weather wand is making a return. Don't worry. But creating those, I have to do race after race to try and make sure it works. I don't just cobble it together and hope for the best. I do a trial run and make sure it's realistic. But all the effort that we put in between myself and Adam, it's worth it, because the enjoyment I get, and I'm sure I speak for Adam as well, like I said earlier, is seeing these cars on track, driven, to use Adam's phrase, driven in anger. And it's brought so much enjoyment for so many people for this era of touring car. Is that right, Adam?
Yeah, and I think that's one of the key elements of it, isn't it? Having those liveries come on, they're classic liveries from Super Touring. It's the main era of Super Touring that everybody loves to watch, and the fact that you've managed to replicate it with the liveries, and the racing is that close as well. Let's not forget, in season 3 we had a different champion to a different person winning more races than everybody else, and somebody else winning loads of pole positions. So it was really mixed up, and it was really, really close. And that's exactly how it should be when it comes down to touring car racing.
Well, that's right. We had Legion having the most wins, but not claiming the title, which just goes to show how close the grid is and how competitive the grid is and how quick. They're all quick in their own right, but it's just I think he missed one race, or
Yeah, it was one round early on, and that's what scuppered his championship, unfortunately.
yeah, but nevertheless, what I will say, we'll touch on, and I hope it repeats itself this season, is we had such a good group. I mean, the SIR guys from last season. One thing that puts a smile on my face is the racecraft that's shown, the respect that's shown, and it's this never give up attitude. And people of all abilities, myself included, I'm not the quickest. I have me day. I have the flashes in the pan where I have a good day, but I don't play it enough to be competitive with the top guys. And it's nice to see that we didn't have one quitter, not one. And it's very rare that we've seen this. And people, they're playing it for the enjoyment of racing like-minded people, and just in playing it for the fun, and just playing it to the end, regardless of where they finish. And that was good to see.
And it was great. It was great as well, because you had battles up and down the field in every single race, and it didn't matter whether they were fighting for the lead or whether they were fighting for 10th or last place. They were still giving it their all, and obviously with the feature racer strategies really came into play as well. That we've always run that kind of format that brings everything together and makes it unpredictable. Your weather, as you say, your weather stick flapping around in the breeze, that always makes it interesting, and it just brings the whole element of racing together. And when you've got good quality drivers, it just makes it all the better, I think.
Do you think we've been gabbing for long enough, Adam?
Yeah, let's put them out of their misery. I'm sure they're all gagging to see what this car is.
I've got glowing gold in the chat. Let's get some guesses in. Come on then, Adam. Give us the countdown.
Okay, go on then. Well, we'll reveal this car for Season 4 then in 3, 2, 1, and here we go.
We'll go on mute. Yeah?
So there we are, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Hyundai Genesis GR4 for season 4. I think quite a fitting car to have, seen as we've used the GR4 in season 1, but it's obviously a different version of car. It allows us to not worry too much about tuning and have a decent race car. As you can see, we've got some of the liveries out on track now as well. We've just seen Reed's Mondeo from the 2000 season is making a welcome return. We're looking at Jason Plato's 1998 livery as well, one of the classic liveries from the Toka touring car days. And then also another 98 livery is a welcome return back for the Volvo. We used different livery in a couple of seasons. And then again a 98 one there for the Honda of James Thompson. Again, it's a classic livery, and from the TOCA 2 touring car days, we had to have these liveries in the game, really, just to really represent touring cars in the best way possible. So that's some of the 98 ones. We've got another 98 livery there of Tim Harvey's Peugeot 406. Again, a classic livery. It was used in 97 and 98. We've had it in every single season, so we couldn't not have it in season 4, really, let's be honest. Following that car, you can see in the background there we are. It's the one that Danny C has taken to 2 championships. This is Frank Bieler's 1996 livery of the Audi A4. Again, it's a classic livery. It's not the most exciting livery that was ever on the grid because it was the same pretty much for 3 seasons, but this is the first of our brand new liveries. We've got the 1997 Nissan Primera for David Leslie. We've had the 98 and the 99 versions of this car previously, but the decals weren't available on the game to be able to recreate the 97 livery. They are now on the game, as you can see, and Jimmy's done a fantastic job to bring in the 97 livery. Another livery here, a new one, is John Clennan's 1996 Vectra. He's carrying the number 1 on this car because it's the 96 version. Obviously the 95 was when he won the championship in the Cavalier. Will Hoy's 1991 championship winning BMW, represented here, the Vickley Racing BMW. This was obviously Vickley's car before the 1992 season, where he actually got done for drugs bust, but never mind, we'll gloss over that one. Another new livery here is Patrick Watts's 1993 Mazda. This is made famous by him putting it on pole position at Snetterton and then putting it into the cornfield straight after. Matt Neal's 1999 Independent Primera as well. This one's another classic livery, one that we saw in season 1, and we're bringing it back for this one. But another new livery here is one of the independent cars from 1995 of Hamish Irvine, the SCB sponsored car. Bringing in a new livery just to kind of spice up the grid. Another independent livery here is Jamie Wall from 1997. This one's on the Vauxhall Cavalier. Hamish Irvine's was on the Peugeot, by the way. This is Rob Gravitt's 1998 independent livery for his Honda. He was the 1990 champion overall, but came back as an independent for many years, and this was his 1998 one. And then finally, and this is a fantastic livery, the amount of hard work that Jimmy had to put in to create this one from scratch. Charlie Cox's Mondeo from 1995. A lot of people won't necessarily recognise this one because Charlie decided to turn it into a ball at Thruxton when he rolled it through the barrier. But another classic livery, really, that we had to have on the grid. And I think you can agree that we've got quite a mixture of liveries being represented in season 4. So it's going to be absolutely epic, and it really suits this GR4 car.
Well, I'm going to give a round of applause for Adam there. Absolutely flawless. I'm just going to pause it here. I volunteered Adam for that because well, you know the history. You know how much I know about touring cars, and I'm an expert on the numbers and the names and everything.
I should have gone on mute for that bit. Sorry, you should have heard me laughing.
So Adam was the ideal person to introduce all the liveries. So I hope that is to everybody's liking. There's numerous testing being done. The car, it drives brilliantly, and the main criteria for selecting the car was how it carried the liveries. Because we haven't got access to all the liveries, excuse all the cars in the game, we have to make do with what we've got. And because predominantly the touring cars were saloons stroke hatchbacks, this sort of ticked all the boxes, and I had to do quite a few liveries on different cars to just pass them through Btcc, And if you're wondering what that is, that's Bath quality control. So I had to just see, how does that livery look on that car? Does it tick the boxes? And we came to the decision that this, yes, okay, the Primera was a saloon, but it ticked. It suited the car. And thanks again, Adam, for the compliments. I love doing these liveries, and it's a passion of mine for the touring cars. So it was a joy to do, to be honest, and to see the finished results.
I mean, I can be picky as much as you like over all the liveries, but ultimately you've got to do them and you've got to create them. So, you've done such a job. I couldn't have created even two of these liveries that you've done, because I've tried it in the past and I can never get it to look right, whereas you've got the patience to get the right shapes and the right shading and put it together. And yeah, all right, I can say, well, you need this decal there, that needs to be moved a bit, but ultimately you've got the skills and the patience to do it, and it's part of the look of the championship. As we've said many times before, it's the liveries that really make this series what it is, along with the drivers, of course. But it's the big selling point of this championship is the liveries. So you've done a fantastic job, and I can't wait to see them all out on track battling amongst themselves.
No, well, that's enormously very kind of you, Adam. Very, very kind. But touching back on the liveries, in case if you heard Adam introducing the liveries there, you'll notice he used the word independence. Now, this is one of the revamps, as well as the new liveries of the season. I've decided I don't like changing much, because the formula we've had for the first 3 seasons has worked absolutely flawlessly. But the feedback I've got over the seasons, it doesn't just go in one ear and out the other. I do take note of it. And I was getting feedback across the board saying, oh, yeah, there's some fast guys in here. I'm finishing 12th and I'm not scoring points. And I'm like, I can't stop the fast guys entering. That's the whole reason of a championship. I can't say dial it down. I can't say that. But you're all fast. Yeah, you're all quick in your own right. And it's great to see the mixture of ability, and the racecraft is impeccable throughout the whole grid. I cannot fault that over all the seasons we've had. But what I've decided to do this season is we're going to have 10 manufacturers. So as you've seen in there, we've got Volvo, Nissan, we've got Peugeot, Audi, we've got Volvo, but we're going to have 5 independents. Now, I'm going to choose the liveries this season because I want to create. This is to give. The reason why I've done it is to give everybody an equal chance of winning. So there's going to be 2 championships running side by side. So you're going to have a manufacturers championship, and you're going to have an independents championship. Now, if you remember back to 1999, Toka put a prize up of, was it 250 grand, Adam?
250 grand for any independent who could win outright.
And Matt Neal won it in his Nissan Primera.
We're not offering 250 grand.
No,
let's be clear on that.
Yeah. I'll just get that out there. But that's what Toka did as an incentive, and Matt Neal won. Was it the second race or the first race, Adam? Second race.
It was in the second race at Donington Park. Right. So the feature race at Donington Park.
And Matt Neal won it. He won outright and won the prize. So I'm going to pick the liveries based on historic results of where the cars usually placed and the drivers. I know how quick they are. I'm going to put people in the liveries mainly as an experiment to see if the results, what we see sort of transpires. Because Jason Plato was always up there. He was hounding the top people, and Rydell was famously quick at Thruxton doing the Swedish shuffle through the first was it through the club complex, Adam? You'll correct me on that.
Yeah,
sure.
It was through the Campbell Cobb Seagrave complex at the beginning of the lap. Yeah.
That's right, and he did the Swedish shuffle. So I'm gonna pick the liveries this season for you. I hope you appreciate all the effort that's gone into it, not just from my side, but for Adam's side as well, because these liveries wouldn't be on track had Adam not given the rubber stamp. I'd be still doing them. So that's the car we're going to be using. It's the Hyundai Genesis Group 4. Another reason why I chose it is because it's got the netting on the window, and it's a proper race car because it's only got one seat and it's got the roll cage. And before I go any further, it's going to be Group 4 BOP. So the only adjustments I'm going to allow are traction controller standard and brake balance. That's it. So everybody, there's no tuning required, no setups, nothing. It's straight out the box, BOP. So hopefully that will please everyone. Have you got any more to add, Adam?
No, I think we've covered it all. Obviously, as you said, we've got that slight little bit of a change because the difficulty we had for Season 4 is making it bigger and better than Season 3 because, as I said earlier, it's gone bigger and better each season that you've done. So to improve it again for Season 4, bringing in the independence, I think is a good step forwards to change it up a little bit. Running it as BOP should help the racing be a lot closer, theoretically. So yeah, I think it's just going to be an absolutely fantastic season. It all kicks off on the 20th of June, as I'm sure many of you will be aware. So yeah, I can't wait for that. Hopefully, I think that's a Friday, isn't it? 20th of June. So
It is, yeah.
so,
I mean,
hopefully I can make most of them, if not all of them, for
Don't worry
commentary.
if you can't make it, Adam.
I'm making it then. If that's the case, I'm making it.
Oh, I tried, ladies and gentlemen. Oh well, but yeah, I've got a busy couple of months coming up. Mainly, I've got a big holiday for my that I've treated myself to for my 50th back in Feb. So I'm away for most of May. So I'm going to give myself a couple of weeks to get back into the swing of things and just sort of dot the I's, cross the T's. All the information I will be posting into our Discord in the relevant channels. So I'll be putting the points scoring system up for manufacturers and drivers in points tables. Btcc liveries will have the livery I've chosen for the relevant driver with you. I'll tag you in the livery. And speaking of liveries, I'm not going to make them. I'm not going to upload them until I get back off holiday. For two reasons. Well, for one reason mainly, I'd like the first time I want to see these live out on track, or anybody else to see them out on track, is when the season starts. So you'll have plenty of time. I'll give you. Yeah, I'm not going to. It's not going to be the night before. It's probably going to be a couple of weeks before, just so you can get your relevant livery downloaded. They'll all be tagged BTCC, Season 4, and Jimmy. So any of those hashtags, just search that, and you'll if you just even if you just put one of them, Jimmy, you'll see all the liveries in my gallery, and download your relevant livery, and also, please do not. They'll be uploaded as non-editable. Please do not alter the liveries in any way. I've spent 2 or 3 hours per car making these liveries, so I don't want to see any names changed. I don't want to see any numbers changed. Just, you did it last season and it was brilliant. So if you could do the same again this season, so we've got the original cars as they were seen on track in the 90s. Because like Adam said, that's the biggest selling point. I don't make anything out of it, obviously, but the people enjoy seeing these cars on track, and the more original they are, that's the key to it. So if you could oblige me in that one request, then you're making a happy codger. Is that right? Anything else, Adam? before we
No,
bore these to
I think
death?
we've covered it. I think we've covered it. I think we can announce though that on the 20th of June, round one will be at Brands Hatch. We can
Of
announce that one.
course. Yeah.
I don't
Where
think
else
there's
would
going to
it
be
be?
any. There can't be any surprises on that one. So you now know what the car is. You know it's going to be BOP, so you can get practice into your heart's content.
And unfortunately, with the latest updates, you can't have rain at Brands Hatch. So my weather wand is going to be, unfortunately, redundant for the first round. But I'll be
Unless they
making
do
up
an
for
update between now and then, that would be interesting.
it. No, but it will be making an appearance during the rounds. And also there'll be 10 rounds this season, as you've seen on the calendar. Because I got requests. I wanted to do more. And I was sort of once we get past stage, what was it, round 6, Adam, we were thinking, oh, 2 rounds and it's over. And we were like, oh, we were just getting into this. Yeah, we wanted more. So this season I've upped that as well. That's another change and doing 10 rounds this season. So plenty of opportunity to it doesn't matter if you have a bad round. So I think I can speak for us both here. We're looking forward to this, aren't we, Adam? Especially looking
Yeah,
at the
yeah. I
grid.
mean, I know you're looking forward to your holiday, but it's going to be something to look forward to when you come back, isn't it?
Oh,
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah. Roll on, June.
Roll on, June. Well, we've bored you long enough for this evening. I've managed to keep. That's the most restrained Adam's been for quite some time. So I know it's not going to continue into the live streams, but
I'm holding it back until June. It's building up.
you've been warned. You've been warned. I'll try and not. Well, it doesn't take much for him to jump in, but until June, ladies and gentlemen, you've now got all the information you need. So get out there, get the car. It's available in Brand Central. It's not a road car. It's a Group 4 car. So it's going to be BOP. So you don't need to worry about any setups. So get testing and get some practice in. Get some practice laps. And then I will let you know on Discord when I've released the liveries. I'll put the liveries up in the next. I'll probably end of the month before I go on holiday. I will release your individual liveries, who's in what car, and then you know which livery to download. So I think that's it for me, Adam. I think I've endured the codger long enough. Do you think?
Yeah, I think we've covered everything. It'll all be in Discord, but obviously the main point is that we're using the Hyundai Genesis GR4 in BOP. So yeah, there we go. That was the main point of tonight. You've given a bit of a tickler as to what season 4 is going to hold. So yeah, we will see you at Brands Hatch in June.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up the live car reveal. Hope you enjoy all the liveries that are going to and the new format. Any feedback's greatly appreciated. Discord. I can't think we've missed anything. Thanks again goes to Adam for. I know I call it Bath QC, but seriously, joking aside, he's the thesaurus on Btcc. There's nothing you could say to Adam. What number was Alan Menu in '96? And he'd come out with it. He'd tell you what the car was, and he'd tell you what the livery. It's incredible.
Number 2.
Oh, there you go. So without Adam's help, none of this. I couldn't have. I can do the liveries, but without Adam's help and input and knowledge and everything else that goes with it, humour, yeah, it's Big thanks to you, Adam. And I know you're probably going to kill me for saying that, but never mind. I'll take the risk. But for now, that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for the car reveal for season 4. Hope you're pleased with the result. And yeah, as I said, any feedback, let me know in Discord. I'm not going to change the car before you request that. So if that's what your request was. So, right, well, as they say in the two Ronnies, it's good night from me and it's good night from him. So,
Good night.
on that note, going to end the stream. So, take care, ladies and gentlemen. Stay safe. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy the breaks, whatever. And I will see you Friday, 20th of June for round 1 at Brands Hatch. All information relevant to the series will be posted in Discord well before the event. Okay. Good night, everybody. Take care. Speak to you soon.